let's talk about my 2024 podcast trends. First and foremost, I really see AI being such a big deal. Now, we know that AI from ChatGPT to Cast Magic and Descript and so many other tools within the podcast space really took off in 2023. But I really foresee a lot more brands, organizations, and independent creators tapping into more AI tools to help with workflow as well as ideation for their podcast. We now have AI that does show notes, to other items that clean up your audio, to other items that even create your social media content. So why not make it easier for yourself? Item number 2 is video content. Now, I know video has always been big in the last 2 to 3 years. Some people even kind of predicted in 2023 that video would take over the audio experience. Now, we all know that there's some true audiophiles who are even listening to this now, and many people feel as though audio is the true thing for podcasting. But the work that YouTube did in 2023 really shows that video is here to stay. As we know, YouTube rolled out a full slew of services for podcasting, and Google sundialed Google Play, Google Podcast listening platform, so that way they could push more people over to YouTube. The numbers at the end of 2023 also showcase that a lot of people are actually listening and watching to podcasts on YouTube. So with this in mind, I really do see where video is going to be expected. It's no longer going to be a thing of you can decide, hey, might want to dabble in video. It's going to be kind of required for you to grow that audience as well as build brand recognition because it allows for more people to find your content. And I think the move that Google is making with YouTube, we're going to start seeing where now, videos is going to show up more in YouTube searches, Google searches, so it's going to really help with discoverability. Item number 3 is something I haven't done myself, is live streaming. So we're seeing more people and more audiences wanting to get to know the creators, the brand, and really the people behind the scenes. With this in mind, live streaming gives that unpolished. It's the real live what is actually going on. And so I really believe that we're going to start seeing more people diving into the live stream sector, and that's going to be a huge portion in growing your audience as well as connecting. Along with live streaming is really live experiences. We're starting to see more people move away from just vanity metrics and the pretty lights and everything else. People really want to start connecting with brands and individuals on a much deeper level. And this is why live experiences are really going to change that. Next up is social media. I really see a shift moving for marketing your podcast to not really being focused on social. We all know that so often, so many people cut reels, do all these elements to grow on social media in hopes that it leads people to watch or listen to your podcast. And the data from Edison and everyone else in between has already shown us that that just isn't the case. It takes people 7 different times to find content and actually decide to take an action. Well, here's the truth of the situation. From the algorithm to all the different updates that's going on every social media platform, it's hard to keep abreast. With this in mind, what may work today may not work tomorrow. And I find that for podcasting, it's been a little bit difficult for us to adjust with the ebbs and the flows. So in order to really grow that audience, to really utilize social media, that should really be in the case of building your brand and brand awareness and for content for social, but not for the specific need to drive people to your podcast itself. Instead, I really foresee in 2024 and beyond where more brands, more creators, more individuals are focusing more on utilizing their own media. And that's your blogs as well as newsletters. Those are things where it's like people have opted into communicating with you. They've indicated that they want to hear about your content. And I really foresee a shift from social media over into owned media. And we'll talk about that a little bit later as we talk about digital marketing trends in the industry. Last but definitely not least is niching down content. So I think gone are the days where we're seeing so many society and culture or sex and society podcasts that will be coming out. I think we're going to start seeing more people niching down. So instead of it just being business, it might be business specifically for moms. Instead of it just being gardening, it might be gardening for women over 60. Like we're going to start seeing a lot more niche content because that is truly the way to build audience, but also it's the better way for sponsorship. Sponsors are looking to work with more micro and macro influencers than the bigger brands. The reason for this is because of the fact that when you're a micro influencer, your 50 to 100 or 500 audience members are much more loyal, much more devout. They come in week after week. And so we're seeing we're niching down your content to where you're not competing with so many people in the industry, but you have your own corner of the world. We're seeing where I really foresee where more brands are going to tap into that, but also more creatives. So let's quickly recap that. First and foremost is AI content, utilizing AI in a more effective and efficient manner. Item number two is live streaming as well as live shows and really those live experiences to build with your audience. Item number three is video. I think we've all fought it for long enough, but it's fine to really realize the video is not going anywhere. Item number four is a shift from social media, from marketing for your podcast over into things like blogs, newsletters, things that are your own content. And last but definitely not least, my last trend is seeing more people niche down their content. So thinking about like, what is that thing that you really enjoy? And don't go so broad, but go a little bit more specific so that way, if you're only talking to 100 people, guess what? That brand who wants to get in front of those specific 100 people know exactly how to find you. So I hope you found this information helpful. And I'd love to hear what your podcast trends are for 2024 and beyond.